I am live. I'm Debbie Leone and here to share some stuff that makes me uncomfortable, but I'm doing it with the intention that hopefully it'll make an impact on you. And so, as you're listening to my story, feel free to comment or ask questions and I'll answer them while we're live. That'll be kind of fun to have this be a little bit interactive. So, I don't know about you, but every time I go out into nature, I'm taught something. Nature, just by being present and listening and seeing the wisdom that nature has, I always leave with some kind of insight. So yesterday I was outside and went on my walk by the river, and I noticed the big expanse of grass. It was beautiful. It just, I don't know, it came to my attention. And then I was drawn to just one little tiny blade of grass. Here it is. Here's one little tiny blade of grass amongst all the gazillion other blades of grass that made up the whole. And I thought, well, this must mean something. I know there's some symbolism here. And then I started to realize that this blade of grass, this tiny little thing, this is me. And it represents everything that I think. It represents my worldview. It represents all the beliefs that I have about myself and about the world. And then I thought, well, if this little tiny blade of grass represents me, what are all these other gazillion blades of grass? What do they represent? And it came to me that all the other blades of grass are all the other possibilities, all the other beliefs and thoughts that I can live in to create an even bigger and richer and more fulfilling experience of my life. And so I started to look at some of the beliefs that keep me feeling stuck, keep me feeling alone, is that single blade of grass and prevents me from feeling like I'm part of the whole. And then I really looked at how my belief system, my worldview, causes me suffering, because that's what it does. As humans, we are designed to interpret, to make meaning out of our life, because it gives us some sense of control, of understanding what life is about and who we are and who others are. So it's not a bad thing. Yet too often our interpretations, our judgments create our suffering. They have us feel separate from ourselves and from the world. And so it brought to mind the biggest part of my life where I'm suffering, and it's huge and it's really difficult to talk about. And I struggled with sharing this today out of fear. But then I realized, I posted on Facebook today, every decision you make is either based out of fear or fearlessness. So I realized I need to be fearless and share this with the hopes that it'll make an impact on you so that you can really understand what I'm saying and see how you can see something other than what you think you know, what you think is right and true. So 6 years ago, it's going on 6 years, my son, who lives in the neighborhood, my daughter-in-law, and my 3 grandchildren, who are 10, 8, and 6, completely alienated me. I haven't been able to have any interactions with them. I can't see my grandkids. If I can't drive down the street to say I love you, they'll call the cops or send me a nasty email. The reasons why, it really doesn't matter. That's not my point in sharing today. But the reality is that I've been alienated from the ones I love most. And it's like a daily heartache. It hurts, it's pain. I suffer every day. And I know any of you other grandparents who are watching who have been alienated, you understand what this is like. There's nothing worse. And so my walk yesterday I was able to see, okay, so if I'm just this one little blade of grass and I only have my own story to hold on to interpret, how is it causing me suffering? And I just went inside and noticed that I tell myself, I must have done something wrong. I'm a bad mother. I'm a bad grandmother. I need to fix this. I'll tell myself that I'm never going to see them again because they may never want to see me again. And on and on and on. And when I stand in that negative, sabotaging belief system, it makes me crazy. You know, it's really difficult. I suffer. I cry. I grieve every day. But if I allow myself to step outside of the smallness of my belief system, of my interpretation of the reality that I'm creating, I get to look and see and trust. Really, that's what it is. Trust that there's so much more going on in my situation than I will probably ever imagine. And I need to trust that in some way, shape, or form, God is organizing my life, their lives, your lives, in a way that I can't understand. And I get to trust it. I get to trust that there is so much more going on and that there are a gazillion other beliefs that I can hold on to that'll decrease my suffering. Like, maybe this is happening so that I can be here sharing my story with you so that you can step into fearlessness and trust whatever it is, whatever your situation is that's causing you pain, for you to notice all the beliefs and thoughts that have you feeling stuck and paralyzed and perhaps victimized and suffering. Maybe this is happening for me to become more fearless. Maybe it's happening for me to love completely unconditionally, even if I can't hold my grandchildren. Maybe it's for me to learn to completely surrender to what life has to offer and to share my story so that it can help heal you and heal the world. Because ultimately, when you're able to trust in the unfamiliar, in the unknown, trust that God is doing something in the midst of this hell, that's where the peace is available. And I have experienced it. I don't look like it now. But when I do trust and allow myself to eliminate those fearful thoughts, because the fear isn't real, it's just stuff that I make up, then I can feel peace in the midst of the chaos. It's available, as difficult as it may be. So that's my message to you today. Thanks, Cindy, brave and wonderful mother and grandmother. Thank you. My prayer is that my story today helped you. Part of me didn't want to share it for fear that my son would watch and make me wrong. And then I had to get out of that fearful thought and trust that my story can help heal you. And that's my wish, that's my prayer for each of you, that whatever pain you're experiencing in your life, that you too are just this single blade of grass, and to look outside and see all the other possibilities in all the other blades of grass. There's so much more out there to experience, and there's so much more peace to experience by really getting out of your mind, accessing your heart, and loving anyway. Susie Jumper, thank you. I haven't met you, but stay strong. So I guess I need to get some Kleenex and let me know if this made an impact for you. It did for me, and thank you. Namaste. Bye.